everybody. Welcome to another episode of Adjusting Success. This week, we are going through pre-boarding, onboarding, and post-boarding. I think I just made 2 out of 3 of those up. But those are the 3 things we are going to be covering. What you do before a new practice member becomes a new practice member, what you do when you onboard a new practice member, and what you do afterwards. So we'll wait for a few people to join in because I know when the live starts going, it takes some time. So we're going to go through new patient onboarding. And you're going to probably say, like, what does this have to do with marketing? It has everything to do with marketing. Your marketing doesn't end the day that the patient walks through your front door. Marketing keeps going. So we're going to talk the day before the patient comes to your office, what you do on day 1 to keep that marketing going, what seeds you plant, and then the marketing moving forward the morning after. So that's what we're going to do there. I'm going to open up all my channels here. I can see most questions, so make the questions come in, and I'll start going here slowly as people start watching and joining in. When we're doing our marketing, the whole point is to try and get new clients to our office. And we talked about referrals and stimulating referrals on a couple episodes ago, but today is about what happens when you cash in on your marketing and you start getting new patients that are coming in. A couple questions that I always bring up when I coach new people is, do you do any type of pre-calling before the patients come to your office? And most chiropractors and most service providers say no, that they've made a call to the office, they've booked their appointment, and then they've got that first appointment where I will see them. But why don't we talk to them beforehand to make sure we get a grasp of what they need from a customer service perspective, which makes you look fantastic. We call this the virtual consult. And number 2, what are you going to get from them on that conversation, and what are you going to market to them during that conversation, where you can almost make a close before you even get them into your office. So these are the things we're going to go through. So virtual consult, if you don't do this in your office, I highly recommend trying it. And it works like this. Every new patient that calls your office from whatever means of marketing that you've done, whether it was a referral, whether it was a Facebook ad, whether it was a workshop that you've done, you give them a call, and your front desk staff will have a script for this. Once they're done booking the new patient into your office, they will tell them, hey, by the way, Dr. Enrico always likes to talk to the patients before your first appointment. Is it okay if he calls you tonight at 6 or tomorrow at 11 or whatever it may be before your appointment on Thursday? And we've never had anyone say no. So they say, yeah, tonight at 6 works great. So I call them at the end of my shift, and the virtual consult goes something like this. Hey, James, I got a quick note here saying that you've got some low back pain and you needed to see a chiropractor. You definitely called the right place. I just want to get a handle of what's going on prior for you coming here, so that I'm ready for you and whatever you may need to serve you the best I possibly can. What's concerning you? And I get my OPQ or ST right there. I got a pen and paper with me right there, or I might even have my EHR open, leaving a chart note in there or in his note section. What's going on. I got my OPQRST done because the patient wants to tell you exactly what's going on. Maybe I'll ask something like, what have you tried, to get some aggravating factors and relieving factors, and that's it. My whole history intake is done. But the thing that you get from the patient is all the information that you need. I tell them, great, thanks for that. I forget what I said, James. Appreciate it. I always like to talk to the patients, because if this is something serious, it doesn't hurt to send a patient out for an ultrasound or an MRI prior to coming in for chiropractic, to make sure that chiropractic is going to be the right thing for you. But it sounds like this is probably musculoskeletal, and you're definitely in the right place. I have my own x-ray machine here in the office. We're going to do this for you when you come in on Thursday. Your appointment's booked at 3:15. In the meantime, if you feel like I'm right about this, use some heat. But then we finish it like this. Once you start doing a lot of virtual consults, and I don't recommend this once you get started, but the whole point of this is at the end of it, be like, hey, James, and you know what we do at our office, I don't know if you read our Google reviews or went to our website at all, but we do correctional care in our office. So when we find whatever's causing your problem, our goal is not just to put a Band-Aid on it. We definitely want to find the source of it, restore the source of it, build strength so that you never get into this position again, and then move you into a healthier position than when you first started with us. Is that something that sounds good for you, getting to our office here on Thursday? I'm just trying to plant some seeds into the patient's mind of like, whoa, what am I getting myself into? That way, when they come into the office and I do all this stuff, and I do a report, and then I bring them a care plan, they're not surprised by all this, because in the pre-qualifying phone call, the virtual consult, I told them everything that we're going to do. It works really, really well. I'm never going back. I'm always going to be doing the virtual consult with everyone. It's just an extra touch of customer service at the bare minimum. Number two, you get your OPQRST. And number three, you can plant some marketing things in there about the fact that you do care plans, the fact that this is going to be a correctional thing, not a Band-Aid solution. And then you can plug in whatever else you do in your office there as well. It's a great way to open up their minds for when they come in. They know that maybe they've never experienced chiropractic before, or your services before, or maybe they've been to other types of providers that you do as well. So that is the pre-boarding, that I like to call it, the virtual consult. Start doing this, start practicing this stuff. It goes a long way. Then once your new patient comes in, this is the first impressions that we give to all of the people in our community when they come to our office. It has to be a 5-star, 5-restaurant type experience when you come in. Your front desk staff has to know what to do, welcoming people by name, making them feel ready for them, making them feel welcome, getting them in on time, not making them wait long. You've heard all these things. These are all marketing things that build your brand and the chances of, raving fans later on down the road. So having those things all done, and then, a new patient exam, I'm not going to go through that. All of you do great work when it comes to that. And then just going through, not minimizing things. People like to minimize things. Hey, this happened to me, but I'm quite healthy. I don't know why it happened to me. This should be pretty easy for you to fix, doc. That's pretty much what they're telling you in an exam. But we all know that, they probably don't eat healthy. They probably don't exercise. They probably don't do the things that keep themselves healthy. So you got to eliminate the minimizing mindset during day one. This is what I try and teach our associates. This is what I try and teach clients, is that you want to minimize the minimizing of the patient. And by asking simple questions like, oh, well, how often do you work at your desk? You'd be like, well, every day. How many hours a day? Well, 8 hours a day. How many days a week? 5 days a week. Wow, that's 40 hours a week. How many years have you been doing this? And then you start building and not letting them minimize the issues that they have. So that's day one. Then we move into day two, the morning after. This is your onboarding sequence. This is your email campaigns. These are your drip campaigns. These are the things that you're building in your office, in your marketing machine, so that these patients get put onto a new onboarding sequence that now goes into the details of their care moving forward. And these can be pre-made. They can get 2 emails in their first week, 2 emails in their second week, 1 email the following week, then 1 email, then 1 email. So as the weeks go by, they're starting to get 1 email a week, maybe 1 email every 2 weeks. And then your drip campaign turns into this whole 6-month thing where over 24 weeks, they've got 16 emails. And now they're on board with all the touch points of all the services you do, how they can refer people to you, what other things you do in your office, how they can increase their success rate with the care that you give them, how they can refer other people. That happens 2 or 3 times because people just don't know how to refer. And that's the exciting time of every interaction that we have with a new client, is in the first few weeks. They're excited, they're coming in, they're sticking with your recommendations, they're getting results. And that's where you got them. After that, they just kind of expect results, and they expect what they paid for. They expect for the service that they're paying for to get good results. When you go somewhere, when you go to a restaurant, you expect good food. When you walk in there, just subconsciously, you're expecting to have a decent meal. And if you don't, you're disappointed wherever you go. So it's the same thing with our services too. They expect that they're going to have a good outcome. They're going to have a good experience at your office. And if they don't come back. So patients that drop off after the 3rd visit, they may not answer calls when you call them. These may be little cues that something went wrong. And it's good for your team to stay on top of that, to get those cues and send out surveys so that you can improve your customer care in the future. That's really important there as well. So this part is all just as important as any marketing that we do. We talk about how to get people in the office, but I hear a lot of people saying this: as the years go by and you're in your practice, why do you continuously need new patients? Makes sense. If you've been in practice for 5 years, that's not long enough. But if you've been in practice for 15 years, 25 years, 35 years, why do you constantly need new patients if you've truly taught them the value of wellness care? Wouldn't you be so filled up with so many patients that you wouldn't be able to accept new patients? I don't know, kind of like your medical doctor counterparts. That's what ends up happening to them. And they barely see their patients, right? Medical doctors don't accept any more new patients. They'll get to, or pediatricians will get to a point where they're literally full because just the wellness checks and the sick calls that come in fill their schedule every single month. Maybe take a month or two to get in for an appointment with a pediatrician or a medical doctor. And that's because they're booked out well in advance based on a patient volume. How come chiropractors don't get to that level? I don't know very many of them in our industry that get to a level in their practice where they've maintained such a great wellness practice that they don't need any more new patients. And that's the big issue with our industry, with our profession uniquely, is that we don't really work on that part of the marketing to teach them that. You say, well, medical doctors don't have to do any marketing for that. They just tell people, accept new patients, and then patients need them. Well, they're going to need chiropractic as well. And you got to show them the need for chiropractic and how often they should use it. And they should always have access to you, which we do. We're the most accessible profession out there. When people call your office, they can probably get in this week. So that's the difference there. So I hope that spurred some questions if you've been listening the last couple of minutes. And I'm going to open this up specifically for questions on that. Getting new patients here, you can ask me anything, even if I didn't even talk about it today. If you have a question on your mind, bring it through here. I'll wait around and I'll keep talking about some little things that we do that's successful in our office. And I'm just going to check the one thing on my Facebook page because that's where questions come in and I miss people. Other than that, I can see everyone else. Good. No questions there. Does anyone have any questions for what we do for marketing anywhere? I'm missing the Lions game for you guys. It's okay. I'm just joking, but yeah, I'm going to stick around. I know people have been coming and going. I see people clicking and going. Monday night at 9:30. Was that the best choice for a live show? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll change it up. Any questions out there about marketing? Let me put in the comments are open. Good. I'm not missing anyone online. Nope. Sweet. All right. Any questions? So we're talking about pre-boarding, onboarding new patients, and then the drip campaign that happens afterwards. How many of you do not use email marketing? That's crazy that we don't use email marketing. Email marketing is back. Email marketing is the cheapest way to market and to the best client, to the best audience out there. There are already people that have opted in to your email list because they became a new patient at your office. They gave you their email. I mean, on paper. I mean, you can send emails to them, marketing, health, appointment reminders. You can send everything to them. They don't have to double opt in on paper to do that. That's only for online. But that's a great way to market is as email campaigns down the road. Definitely get your email set up for sure. CRMs that people, lots to choose from. Constant Contact, Appointment Core, right? Or there's a MailChimp, High Level. There's so many different CRMs out there. Play with the free trials. Don't get too invested into anything and dumping too much time into them, because then if you don't end up liking the CRM and switching, it can become a little bit of a pain. But my recommendations, in all honesty, is High Level. It does everything. It does text messaging. It does email marketing, or MailChimp. MailChimp is just the best email marketing CRM out there. And it's separate, and that's all they do is just the email. So many of you have things like EHR in your office. You have a text reminder app probably for your office as well, like SCAD Review Wave or something like that, ChiroTouch, that are automatically sending text messages. So you could use that program to text patients, even marketing stuff. So you don't have to double dip and move into High Level and that also do those things. So I'm a big fan of MailChimp. I like that one. They're good. Depending on your list, the prices, depending on the number of people on your list, the prices go up, but nominal for email marketing. It works really well. So try that one. Easy to build email campaigns, easy to build automations. Just got to sit down and do it. And there's people out there that will do it for you too. However, writing emails by someone else is usually not the best strategy, because they're just not going to talk in your tone. They may not say the right things about chiropractic. They may not say the right things about your office. So then you're double checking them anyway. So you might as well just write them yourself. They're an email. They're not a novel. So let me add these to so I can manually add them to my CRM, and they don't have to opt in if I got their email originally to send. Bingo. They do not, because they hand written their email to you in your clinical office, which means that you will automatically have permission to put that into their file and send them emails. Unless you have a clause in there that says, we will not market to you. That's dumb. Don't put that on your paperwork. And then you got to ask them again for permission. But what you can do in your email, in your drip to all of the new patients that come in there, is have a welcome email. And then on the bottom say, hey, please reply yes, telling us that you would like to hear more, get more emails from us in the future. This is a great way to heat up your list and get them warm, because they're going to respond yes to your email. It's just good for you and your CRM sending out emails. It puts you up to a higher compliancy rate there as well. And your numbers just look good, and you never get put into spam folders, which is all good stuff. So you can have that right in the beginning. I always try and get 50% of my emails for some type of reply back to this, say, I want the free, some whatever. I want this, or a massage, or, a word that they can say back, or ask any questions you may have. Emails that have some type of a reply question in them are good as well. That's more of an advanced email thing. Just get your email list out there. Many of you don't even have a CRM. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I love the clients that come in. They're like, hey, I want to take my practice from this volume to this volume. This is my goal for collections. And the first thing I'll ask them is like, how do you do your email marketing? And they'll say, oh, I don't. I'm like, if you had to guess how many emails you have, how many do you have? And typically these doctors that I work with are not brand new. They've been in practice for a little bit. And they'll say something like 3,000 or 2,000. I'm like, we are going to double your practice in 60 days. And they're like, okay, let's go. And everyone, we do it. We do it. If they're doing under 30K a month, we double the practices, because now we can just tie in everything we know about marketing, what we know in systems and procedures in the office, and then hit their email list with something new and cool in the office. Every time you do something new, you can send them an email. You send one time a week or more. You can send as many emails as you want. You got to think about it as a consumer yourself. How many emails do you get in your inbox every single day? Okay. Now, if you have Gmail or something like that, it automatically puts things into promotions and puts things into your inbox, right? That's kind of nice that they do that. And then what you do is, how many times do you unsubscribe, right? You don't. How many times do you get the Costco emails? Costco will send it at least once a week, right? Amazon, the t-shirt company that you use, the beauty products that you use, whatever it may be. How many do you get, and do you not unsubscribe from? Some of them you will unsubscribe. And so think of yourself as a consumer, which you are, and think about the things that you unsubscribe to, right? Do you unsubscribe to your dentist's emails? Do you unsubscribe to your optometrist emails? You probably don't even get emails for your dentist and optometrist, because they're so far behind in this stuff, right? Chiropractors are some of the best marketers in healthcare, because we have to be. We need to survive. We need to tell people about a commodity they don't even know that they need. Make sense? I have over 20,000 emails. Oh my Lord, you are a millionaire. I hope you have a few $1 million in your account, because if you don't, we got to get you a few $1 million. Like, this is crazy. 20,000 emails. This has got to be, I don't get to see the names. This has got to be Karen. Somebody who's been, okay, who is this? Somebody who has been practicing for a long time. Because, folks, to get 20,000 emails, in my inbox. Oh, okay. Oh, geez, you got me so excited. Okay, yeah, no, I have I have over 20,000 as well. I got to delete those. Oh man, you had me so excited there. I was like, you have 20,000 patient emails. That's amazing. It's great. In Canada, I was like, man, I think we were up to like 6,000 in our practice. It took us almost 10 years to get that. It was like 5,000 something emails. And here we're at like 3,200 in 5 years. So, but the funny thing is, we have like 7,000 patients that have come through one way or another through like a lead. And I take those leads and I put them in our email CRM as well. So it kind of makes you wonder, did 50% of them opt out, like unsubscribe? I should go back and get that information. But you got to think of as emails like you do as well. Do you opt out of things? So the big thing today that I get questions is like, I don't want to over text my patients and I don't want to over email them. You can't really over email them. They are warm to your business. They kind of want to hear what you have to say. And chances are very slim to zero that you're going to send out crappy emails and useless emails. You think your emails are crappy and useless because you're doing it. You're sending them and you think no one needs to hear what you have to say. But that's not true. They're so eager to hear what's next. What are you doing next? What are you doing for Thanksgiving? What are you doing for Christmas? And, they're excited. You're part of it. They are part of your family. They want to be part of what you've created. So you do have raving fans. They want to hear this, and people want to opt out. Next, right? Patients with quick care. Next. I mean, you can't sit there and dwell about stuff. They're leaving for whatever their reasons are. Sometimes they're moving. That makes sense. Sometimes they're just like, you know what? I don't like that you changed that wall color from beige to purple. I mean, I just don't like purple. I'm out of here. We can't control what people leave for, so don't worry about that. So the whole point, you can't over email. You can over text, but I've never run into anyone that over texts because they're like, can I send out one a week or two a week? Well, yeah, you can send one a week. If you're blasting your whole list with stuff, texting, you're just going to get a lot of people that say stop, which not a good thing. You want to keep as many people open as you can. But that's where you tag and group your SMSs in like high level, constant contacts, review wave, scan. You can tag them so that you can send to groups. So you're not just blasting every single, like I said, we have 7,000 files. We don't want to blast 7,000 emails every time we have something to say about our office. But maybe there's a Christmas holiday thing coming up, or pictures with Santa, which we're doing in December. Maybe that is something we send to the whole group. Reactivate some old patients that come in, some old families. So there's ways to use this stuff, which is not harmful. They'll see something from Full Life Chiropractic on their phone. They're not going to get upset. They're like, man, I haven't heard from these guys in 9 months. Sending an email. What is this about? They're curious, and then they just ignore it. How many spam texts do you get all the time? And you try and unsubscribe, or you try and get away from them. They still get you with a different number from a different place. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about over emailing. Just email. Most of you don't even email. So just send out a few emails and watch what happens. It's pretty cool stuff. What else we got? Overall marketing questions. Anything that's been happening. How is the fourth quarter going for many of you? How's everything going so far in the fourth quarter? What are some things you're noticing in your practice? Okay, no questions on this. This is the one I miss all the time. Are we good? I'm in no rush. I'm here to answer your questions. I just try and keep it under 30 minutes for you guys because I respect your time. Any other questions about marketing? The virtual consult, this is a game changer. It's been a game changer for my practice, calling the new patients before their appointment. Many of you have walk-in type practices as well, where they call in and they're booked in for 2 hours from now. That's okay. You just talk to them on your desk. Your front desk just talk to them. Don't worry about that. I'm talking about people that are like, hey, it's Monday today. They're calling in. They're like, I need to get in with you. They can't get in till Wednesday because you're legitimately booked, and they book for Wednesday, or they book for next Monday, whatever it is on their schedule. Between that time, you're giving them a call. The doctor is going to give them a call. Say, hey, James, I see you on my schedule for Monday. As you know, Brittany told you that I usually like to talk to patients before they come on in. Tell me about what's going on. I just want to be ready for you. You get your OPQRST on that virtual consult. You write it down. You're already ahead of the game for the exam. But number two is you're building customer service with this. The people are like, no one has ever called me prior to my appointment, especially the doctor. So now you're the first person to do this. That's a good wow factor. And then you get some information, and then you get to plant seeds. When you get really good at this, and this is what I do on half of those calls, is like, hey, Terry, just to let you know, we like to solve the problems here at our office. We're not just a Band-Aid solution for this. And I'm sure that's what you're looking for. That's why you called the chiropractor and not, go to the urgent care. So to work with us, it usually costs, $2, $3, almost $4,000, depending on your case and how long we're going to work, whether it's 3 months or 6 months or anywhere in between. It's going to be custom tailored to you, but I just wanted to let you know that this is probably going to be around $3,000. Is there any objections to that? And usually you get something like, wow, I wasn't expecting that, doc. I know. But again, I'm not here to put a Band-Aid on it. A Band-Aid is going to cost $75. That's just our adjustment. But to fix this, it's going to take a couple dozen treatments to really get this better, strengthen your spine, and get you to a place of stability. Does that make sense? Wherever their injury is. You'd be amazed at how many people are like, okay. They'll bring up their objections right there. Like, oh, I don't know if I can afford it. Or is that all up front? No, it's actually not all up front. We've divided over the months that you're going to work with us. If it's 4 months, it's 4 months, 5 months, 5 months. But you can break that up any way you like. And they're like, oh, because that was their concern. They're like, oh man, am I going to have to fork out $3,000 up front? And then when you say, no, you can pay that over 6 months, they're like, $500. Oh, I can do that. That's what's going through their head. Right. And you get good at this. And then you can tame some other conversations that you may have built no rapport in that virtual consult. Don't end it with, hey, it costs $4,400 to work with me. You may lose that patient. So you get good at this. And I call that the master close on the virtual consult, is finishing it with the cost. That way, the reason why you want to get to that point and that amount of certainty is your time. When you get to a point of 40, 50, 60, 70 new patients in a month, you now do not have time as a doctor to sit down and waste your time with 15 out of those 70 new patients that are not going to close for care and not come back for a day two because they don't agree with something. You get this on the virtual consult. So you can trim the 70 new patients down to 49 new patients. And the 49 that come in, you have a very high close rate, a very high success rate with your care planning, even if the care planning is for 6 visits. That counts too. That absolutely counts. So that's the mastering that level of that. And you should always be mastering your day one and your day two. Always getting better and better and better and just streamlining this, not strictly from a patient's perspective, but from your time perspective. Many of you get burnt out because you're repeating the same things over and over again that have been getting minimal results, or maybe getting false conversions. How many of you get false conversions where people sign up for care, but they don't finish the care? I went through a phase of that as well, where you're so good on day one, day two, that as 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks goes by, they've lost their excitement with you because you were so high energy at the beginning. And now it's just been constantly 14 of the exact same adjustments in a row. And they're like, I felt good like 10 adjustments ago. Why did I come in 14 times? I could have been done 4 times. And they're confused why they're on this payment plan because a month and a half has gone by, right? That's where you have good certainty at the beginning, but your table talk and your patient education through the program is lacking. A lot of things there. So always be working on these things. I've always had a coach in my corner in one shape, form, or another, just because going by yourself, thinking you know it all, just leaves you with the same thing over and over every year. You just go through the exact same thing. And that's okay. If you're paying your bills and you're living a happy life, it's all good. There's nothing, not all of us have to be multimillionaires, right? Some of us don't even care about that. So that's okay. But if you're in the hamster wheel, you got to change everything. You got to improve on everything. That's the only way to change the wheel. Hope that makes sense. Any more questions? Anything else? I just keep talking because I feel like I need to talk. But if you guys have any other particular questions about anything, let me know. If not, enjoy Halloween. It's going to be 80 something degrees here. So for my Canadian friends, it's 25 degrees Celsius. That's how we trick or treat now. No more snow for us. But yeah, Are we going to wrap it up? Wait a couple more minutes. If you got any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. I'm always here for you. You don't have to wait till 9:30 on a Monday night. You can message me on Facebook anytime. You can do. This does get recorded. Yeah, you just go to the Facebook page. Our Facebook page or the YouTube page. So you go to www.youtube.com/@Enrico D Marketing. Boom. You do that, click right there on that link, and it sends you to the YouTube channel where all of our lives are saved. So that's it. I try and keep them about 30 minutes. Good question. No, they're all there for you. Everything's there for you. Content. Always be creating content on all your platforms, on all your media, on all your stuff. You guys sit here and you're like, why does he do this on Monday nights? Content. In the future, as I keep doing this and I keep being consistent, as the years go by, I will have hundreds, if not thousands of hours of content floating on the internet. I will be a millionaire. No, just kidding. But you need to have your content going. You always need to be doing stuff. Start getting video cameras out. People who are in the Facebook 101 group, I always send out prizes for people who help us grow the group or have insight or have a birthday or fill out all my forms, whatever. I reward them for doing that. But I always send them like video camera, lighting, or a microphone to stimulate content creation for them, because it's the highest and the best commodity you can create right now. So you guys all have tons of knowledge and a phone. Record your content, anything you want to talk about, and post it on your Facebook page and your Instagram page. Just please just post content. Just post stuff, silly stuff, happy stuff, healthy stuff, adjustments, whatever you want. Just post, keep the content going. It's what feeds that algorithm, the monster we've created of social media that is out there. It's just reality. That's where people's attention is. They're not reading books anymore. They're not reading magazines anymore. There's no point for print advertising anymore. All it is digital. I guess I could talk all night. You guys are welcome. See you next Monday. Reach out to me anytime. I'm here for you whenever you need it. Have a great week.